Carlos Nelson with Cascade Sports. This is a continuation on our series, Bridging the Gap Between Sports and Education. And we have some local athletes that have played sports, and through that they were able to get an education and a different outlook on life. Who do we have here?
Damon Harris from Kansas City, Kansas.
Hey, Damon, tell our audience a little bit about yourself. Off camera, you talked to me and you said that you've been playing sports most of your life. Give our audience a little bit inside look at your life coming up through sports at the youngest age.
Well, like I started off playing in the YMCA, like it's probably like kindergarten or something like that. And my uncle used to run the what is it called? It's called the Boys and Girls Club now, but it used to just be called John F. Kennedy Recreation Center. My uncle used to run that. Like,
that's over in KCK?
Yeah, that's where I grew up there.
All right,
so,
go ahead.
My uncle ran the gym, so I was always in the gym, like playing with older teams. Like I was like second grade, I'm playing with 4th, 5th graders and 6th graders and stuff like that. So that was like my early ages. But then as I got older, I kind of got better. And I played for West Middle School. Then I ended up going to Sligo. I suited up varsity my freshman year. And I started varsity.
Playing?
I was playing point guard, like shooting guard, point guard, just a guard position. My coach at Sligo was Coach Leibel, Coach JJ Leibel. And I played at Sligo for 2 years, and then I went to Missouri. I transferred to Missouri, and I was ineligible for my first semester of my junior year. But I played the second semester for Coach Smith. I forgot his first name, but it was Coach Smith over there at Hickman Mills before Hickman Mills closed down.
All right.
So, and then my senior year, I didn't play at all. Like I didn't play at all. Like it was kind of like eligibility issue. So
why? Hold up. Let's not comb over that, because Cascade Sports is known as home of the student athlete. They were academic issues.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, talk about why was your academics bad? Because you as an athlete, again, most of our stories really don't, that I've done, same deal. We can play, we're not paying attention to them academics, myself included. I went to school, I had a 0.7 grade point average my freshman year in college. I'm like, because I thought being an athlete, and I think telling your story, why were you having academic problems?
Probably just because I really didn't take academics serious. Like I really didn't take academics serious. Like academics was just like a requirement to play sports. So it's like whatever you try to meet those requirements, whatever you needed it a 3.0 or a 2.8, you just try to get a 2.8. You're not striving to get past a 2.8. You're just trying to get whatever it is so you can play. So like I said, I think I kind of knew I wasn't gonna play my senior year, so I really didn't even care about no school at all. So like I really didn't even I didn't even graduate. I didn't graduate high school.
And hold it, and that's why we all different. And on a different level, a lot of people that are super successful, they drop out of school because they feel that school can't teach them anything, and they march into their own drummer. And they really, I'm one somewhat like that. The degrees and all of that stuff really don't impress me. So I wouldn't be have any feelings about not finishing. But my story.
But look, to continue my story, like, all right, so I didn't graduate high school, but like I said, I played AAU. I played all my life, so that's where Coach Terry Moore come in. Like I played with him as on his diaper dance team down in Wichita. And like the coaches seen, like we played in a tournament at Wichita State University at their arena, Cox Arena. We played there, and the coaches, like a coach seen me, like I guess they had scouts down there, and a coach had seen me play from Cali County Community College, and I think it was Coach Rainey. That's the assistant coach name when I was down there. Coach Rainey. Mm-hmm. He came down to Wichita State and seen me play down there, and I guess he told Coach Brian Jackson about me. And they came to my mama's house and like offered me like a scholarship to come down there and play. Like so, like I said, I didn't graduate high school, but the coaches knew I could play basketball, so they offered me to come down there in the summertime to like take the little summer courses over the computer, and once I complete that, then I'll be eligible to play. Yeah. So I did that at Cali County Community College. And that was 2007 season.
What? See, I will. You jumped to that. I wanted to talk to you about what was it like at home. Do you have brothers and sisters? Because when you are come from, and that's not all of us, but quite a few come from the hood, man. You be like on your own, every man for himself, and that's what I'm trying to get across to the audience, that when you see a lot of our athletes out there on the floor, you don't know really what they've had to go through, and what, you know, once they finish playing, it's like, now how do I have dinner? How do I do this? And do I want to do this? How important was it, the people that you were running around with? Did that have an influence on your, learning?
The people that I was around a lot of the time, they did have a big influence on like the stuff that I would like to do. Like, so like I said, growing up, I was always basketball tournaments, spending the night around basketball people's house, and like. But as I got older, it started being like high school. It started being like more streets, like the streets get involved. Like, yo, you got friends at street, they don't even play basketball, so I kind of got mixed into some street stuff. As far as like my home, like as far as being at home, I really wasn't at home. Like I was kind of in the streets a little bit.
And you, in hindsight, you're looking back at, some of your successes, some of your failures. What would you tell a young freshman right about now? What they should be doing?
What would I tell a freshman? Let me see.
Just coming from our hood, man.
Hey, I would tell him like, just take every opportunity serious. Like, you might not get a second opportunity, so you know what I'm saying. I would just explain that to him, like, use your first opportunity, use it wisely. Like, don't think
what
about.
What would you tell them about education and being eligible and what they need to do to really graduate, and you had that dream of playing ball, but you probably didn't meet the right people to guide you and make sure, hey man, where you at?
Yeah.
And that means a whole lot when we come from single family homes with a lot of different issues. Right. That can make us or break us. And I want that. That's why we're doing this series. So you were at the community college, you took the test. Why didn't you go ahead and finish?
Why didn't I finish community college?
Yeah, talk to the audience what your mindset was, what the atmosphere.
I was just young. That's why I'm like, you know how it is. It's just a young, like you said, from the city, and you down there, like you you kind of like in a whole it's like a country town, so it's just like I don't know. But the why I didn't finish community college,
you're out of your social element,
yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
of that. And how being an athlete, even in a small town, the economics, just going to school. Do you is money coming to you? Can you do what the other kids do, and all of that? What kind of factor does that play in a young athlete taking the road you took? Everybody take their own road.
Yeah, I had a good support system. Like I said, it just like the basketball just kind of got away from me. Like it just like once the basketball slipped up, it's like the street stepped in. Then it was like I was kind of like had 1 foot in, 1 foot on the court, 1 foot on the street type of thing. Like I wouldn't know street dude though. It was like the people who I was hanging around with street dudes. So it was just like I don't know. I wouldn't into no street stuff for none of that. Like I ain't got into no trouble. Like I said, but I know friends that have got killed and friends that's doing life in jail and all that type of stuff.
Well, all of us do. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm saying all you have to do, look at Allen Iverson really brought it to the forefront how we do. When he got in the NBA, all his homies and, that's what we do. I'm saying unless you have people that are really there, because Pops ain't there.
Right. And he was there, but he wasn't there for me.
No,
like what I
hold it. When I say that, for the most part, they dealing with even when they there. Unless if they're coming from a different social and economic class, then it's all cool. But even when in the hood, when your dad's there, man, all kinds of crap be going down. I know.
Right.
I want my audience to know that it's no picnic for urban core kids that are playing sports.
Nah, it's definitely not.
And when you see them having fundraisers and things of that nature, you from the community support it. But if they don't hear your story, they hear some sugar-coated stuff, then they understand, but they really understand when you telling them what's up.
Right. They don't understand somebody's testimony, like the official.
The real deal.
Yeah, coming from the horse's mouth, basically.
Yeah. Hey, how about stepping in these shoes for 1 month? See whether you can survive what I have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, it was tough, man. But yeah, like why I didn't finish community college, honestly, me and the coach had got into it. Like I said, I was still kind of young-minded. So when we went back for our winter break, like I said, I had been down there. Like I said, I had to go early because I had to take the classes, remember, for the high school stuff. So I've been down there from, like, you get out of high school in May or something. So I've been down there from July all the way to December. So they was like, when you get down there in December, we're going to, all right, this is a whole new, this is the next level for me. So I'm still young, I'm not knowing that. So they was like, all right, so when you get back to Kansas City, you're only gonna be there for like a week or something, like a weekend. You might have to come right back. And I was like, nah, I mean, I'm gonna have to be there till I was trying to stay for an extra week or something. So once I did what I said I was gonna do, I was like, young man, I was like they was telling us you had to come back on a certain day. I'm like, man, I'm gonna come back a week after that or something. Like this is me in college saying that. So like I said what I was gonna do. I came back a week later, and then like the coach ended up kicking me off the team. Like I got kicked off the team, so I never played basketball after that.
And that's why it's important for you to give your testimony to young kids about that opportunity.
Right.
You, a lot of young kids, and you didn't say this, but I already know because I deal with this. You felt you was good, and the coach wasn't going to do nothing.
Right.
And that's the mentality. You know, you from the hood. The young gunslingers, they come out of high school, they big cheese around here. They feel when I go, they don't really even understand the recruiting process. Coaches go to 1 million people's homes. They say 1 million different things. Nobody's paid you no attention. That's the first attention you get, and you feel, oh boy, I'm on my way.
Right, yeah.
Did I describe it?
Yeah. But you don't know, like he didn't been to St. Louis, he didn't been to Oklahoma, he didn't been to all these other little cities around here too, getting the best, talking to the best people's parents, and you know what I'm saying? You replaceable. Like you don't understand that
Say
until,
that.
like you said, you kind of
Cut.
look back on it.
Cut. What did you say? What are you?
Replaceable.
Say that one more time.
Replaceable.
Yeah. Because they don't see that. You didn't see that.
Yeah. You don't know that until you get replaced. Like I'm saying, you fresh out of high school and like you ain't been replaced on nothing because you, like you said, you kind of been the dude or whatever.
Guy.
Yeah, you been the dude or whatever until you, like you said, you get to that next level and it's just different. It just hit different. Then you don't get a second chance. So you already had your second chance and you messed your second chance up. So that was kind of like my situation.
And a lot of times you don't even supposed to be there because your grades wasn't right. But the coach has tried to, he wants you so bad, he's trying to pull you out of your situation at home, but you don't see that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they got so much stuff. They got study halls. They got so much stuff set up for you to where it's kind of impossible for you, unless you just really don't care, for you to be able to be successful and play basketball and get an education. So it was just like I said, I wasn't focused. That's what I was. I wasn't focused. Like if I could describe it in one little statement, I just wasn't focused. Like I wasn't focused. Like I wouldn't inspire. Like I said, I was seeing older dudes. Like when I came up, I was watching like Victor Williams and Nate Johnson, like out of Kansas. They went to Wyandotte High School and they was like the talk of the town or whatever when I was coming up. So once you like see them like kind of like not go nowhere or not make it, it's like dang, like I might not make it in basketball if Leo Lyons ain't making it, if Boo Williams ain't making it, if Victor and Nate ain't making it, it's like what can I do? Like I ain't, my name ain't as big as theirs, but just seeing them not making it is kind of like what's the word? Like discouraging, seeing like the bigger names not even like kind of making it in basketball. So that's why I said I kind of like shifted my focus onto music. I got on the music kind of young too though, so I was kind of splitting the music.
Tell our audience what do you do once you decided you weren't going to play anymore and you were shifting your attention to music and entertainment per se.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Once I knew like basketball was like out of the picture or whatever, like I mean, you back in the real world now, so you gotta find a job, you gotta do all this, you gotta deal with life. So you're like, okay. But as far as like extracurricular activities, I was doing music. Like I started off like trying to be a rapper, but I knew that wasn't gonna work. So
how long? Hold it. Let's show a timeline. How much time you can waste not having a mentor right there to guide you, and you look back and say, "Dad, it's taken me 8 years, and look where I'm at." Run that down to him.
From if you ain't got a mentor, you need a mentor all throughout your high school. I think from freshman year all the way through like your sophomore year of college. It's just somebody just like making sure that you where you need to be, making sure everything that you need to be doing is being done. Like kind of just staying on you, like making sure you in check or whatever. I think you need that all through like I said, from freshman year all the way through sophomore year. But where you can get lost at, like I said, because in the years I feel like it's easy to get lost. Like you can get lost in finding like I said, streets or whatever, drugs, girls or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I know people that had kids back then, like, you know what I'm saying? They kids 16-year-old now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I just now had a daughter, so all this stuff is new to me. So but yeah, it's just a lot of stuff. Like when you ain't focused, a mentor help you stay focused. That's what I'm trying to get. It's a lot of stuff to lose focus on and get distracted on as far as like your ultimate goal.
But now I was talking about I'm glad you went back there, but I was talking about a mentor in your business, especially being a
Oh,
black
okay.
black man trying to do something that just like everybody's trying to be an NBA or NFL, everybody's
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
be
yeah.
a producer, rapper, and what
Uh-huh.
have you. What has that been like?
As far as a mentor for the business side, it was just something that I was just trying out one day. It was just something like I probably seen. I was kind of familiar as far as like messing around with the keyboards and stuff like that. So it was like I would hear a beat and then I would try to make it myself. Like that's how I started off. So I kind of like you said, entrepreneur. It was like I started off wanting to be an entrepreneur. So I would just like I would hear a beat being made and then I would try to like duplicate that beat and like and let the people who like let the people who made the beat like hear my version of it, just so you can compare it. Like it wasn't that far off. So that's when I
Mhm.
kind of knew that I had some. I'm like, it ain't that far off, so I can just keep on building on that. So I just started just building on that, and that was just me. But I was doing other stuff too as far as music. Like I had podcasts. Like before podcasts got popular, like we were doing podcasts 10 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And that's on YouTube. Like we was getting into that like kind of before it got popular.
And
But
what was the programs about?
Slap City Radio, it was called Slap City Radio. But the program we had different topics every night as far as like me and my partner, me and the co-host of the show, like
Right.
we would like call each other throughout the week and just discuss like what you want to talk about this week. We're gonna talk about relationship issues or trust issues between girls and boys or whatever. Or we talk about sports. We talk about a lot of stuff on the show. We play local artists. Like local artists will like pay us, or some people didn't have to pay us. But
Right.
if your song was hot, yeah, like but some people will pay us to like play their music on the show. So it was kind of like a mixed breed of a show. Like
How long did y'all do that?
we did it for a while. Like, we did it
What years to
from
what years?
I think it ended in about 2012. Like the radio show. I'm trying to think when did we
Why'd y'all
start it though.
stop?
Just it's just a lot of stuff like you know how it go between
Yeah, hold it. When
two
you
different
working with
any business
anybody,
with anything, just two different people running the business. It's like it's gonna like kind of run to a head at a time. So like I said, I was more on the music side of the business and he was more on the talk show side of the business. So like I don't know.
do
Like
you think, hold it, in retrospect, do you think that was opportunity missed?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right. Let's keep it moving. So after that, what was you doing?
I mean, we was throwing parties just as all off for the radio show. Like everybody calling in, like we got our listeners involved. Like we putting our numbers on social media for you to call in and speak on the topic and all that type of stuff. So I mean that was going good. But like you said, we stopped that when we was doing parties and stuff. But like I said, I had my own individual music career as a producer. I already like because like the people we was making beats for, we had them call in. Like now we got them calling in now. Like you know what I'm saying? So we having like little local celebrities calling in, like rappers, underground rappers. Basically, they not super celebrities, but they underground.
Right.
Like
Hey, we have on our What's Up Kansas City. You can go on. We have the shows on Top of My Game. We got reality shows. And boy, there's a ton of rappers around here. This
yeah,
covert has jammed things up, but all of the different clubs, they come in from St. Louis, the rap
yeah,
battles, the if you got a venue and in the mix, it's on,
yeah,
and you can make some ching ching.
yeah. That's all I say. That's all I say. That just made me think about one of my mentors. Like it's just like Master P was one of my mentors. Like because I grew up listening to his music because my uncles was like, I had uncles or whatever, so I used to ride with them, and they had the CD book, like you fly through all the books, the CDs, all masterpiece CDs.
Yeah.
And then once you get older, you see how that business was ran. You was like, man, like he was really killing the game back then.
But the key, let me say this, it's just like my business. The key is to try to be the first.
Yeah.
See, and a lot of times you be the first and don't realize you the person you copying. You start trying to do what everybody else do. You see how we doing this interview? Most people, they're not going to do no half an hour or have these type conversations per se. And I do it my way. We the first ones do it this way. Hey, I don't care what everybody else doing.
Yeah.
You know, so what kind of instruments do you be using or to make these beats and so forth?
Just virtual instruments. It's like instruments already like on the computer. Like you just like load up. It's thousands of sounds.
Would you say you have made?
You said how many? How
many beats would you say that you've created yourself? Do you have a catalog yourself that all of the beats that you made?
I did a versus battle, and I played all of them. I did a versus battle. It's on my Facebook page, but I did a versus battle with another producer. I mean, but if I had to say a number, how many beats I made like thousands of beats. But as far as people rapping on my beats, probably a couple hundred.
All right.
But I made thousands of beats. But as far as like people actually making songs, like going to the studio and doing whole songs and paying people to mix and master songs and stuff like that, a couple hundred.
Do you know how to use the mix board and all of that and in the studios? Do you rent time?
Nah, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to. I know I go by ear. Like I do everything by the computer, so I don't need to go. I just give the rapper. I make the beat. I give it to the rapper, and he goes to the studio and do all that. Like,
all right. Yeah, hold it. You done found your niche, and you do it how you do it, and then after you give them that raw, then go do what you want to do. Blow your brains out, but pay
me. Yeah. I got my money. Like, I got my money. I got paid already, so. But I do like hold on. Oh, I like being in the studio with the rapper instead of like me just being like over here by myself. Cause I like somebody critiquing me like or criticizing me like, yeah, I like that, or add that in, or take that out, or bring that back, or I like that instead of me just going off of me. Like,
how long does it take you to create most the things that you be working with? And where do you get your inspiration from?
It don't just listening to music, today's music, like just hearing just a good sound or a nice song. Like I listen to R&B, old school. I listen to old school R&B, everything. But how long it takes me to make a beat? It can take me like an hour or two, but I wouldn't want it to take me an hour or two. I wouldn't want to rush it, so. I can make it last an hour or two, or I can make it last a whole week through the same beat. Like I go back and listen to it every day, just add something different.
See, one of my favorite group is Wu-Tang, and they come the same way with the beat, and that's what I'm getting the flavor you talking about.
Yeah.
Am I on point?
Yeah, that's everybody know. Like if. Like my name, like my beat, my producer name, my tag name is Damon on the Slap. So, like that's a name.
Damon on the Slap.
Damon on the Slap. So that's like a local. I'm like a little local. I used to go to the club and stuff, and everybody know Damon on the Slap, Damon on the Slap. But now I'm just kind of old. I don't really be on that no more.
Yeah, but you still got some juice, man.
Yeah, I still make beats. I still go by Damon on the Slap, but I just don't be just out here like how
out there. Hold it. Now you got kids and all of that other stuff, the responsibilities and what have you. But the main thing, because we're gonna wrap this up, was really through sports, it has changed your life. And
most definitely.
because you and myself know, once the streets get a hold of you, per se, man, because the streets come with a little bit of change, and then our circumstances. It's like, do I do this? I need this right now, but I want to be over here, but my circumstances put me over here.
Right.
And so I want to make that clear to our audience.
Yeah, most definitely.
Do you have any closing words?
Closing words just for like future athletes, man. Just find that sport that you really love and that you really excel in, and just stay committed to it. Like if you good at soccer and you got experience, you got a lot of experience in soccer, just stay playing soccer. Like, you only gonna get better. Like I said, just stay with it. Just and stay educated. Like, continue your education, go to school. Like I said, now it's super easy. I think they got so much resources now, to where y'all it's impossible for y'all to not succeed and go to school and graduate with high honors and go to the NBA and all of that. Like, I think that's possible now for students around here.
Yeah, well, as we always say in closing, when you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself. And for all you chumps out there think y'all can take on Cascade Sports, because we go hard in the paint, baby. We go hard.
This program is brought to you by the City of Fountains Coaches Association.